Oh, thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to talking to you.
Nice to meet you. So tell us, how do you feel about to come back here in Mexico in this new stage area of Symphony X? How do you feel to come back with this new tour?
Oh, anytime I can come back to Mexico, it's a beautiful feeling. The Mexican fans have been so good to us, and every time we play in Mexico, it's a wonderful time. The audience is always so loud, and we appreciate it so much. And I have so many friends there, and I'm really looking forward to it.
And also, I think that you are touring with a lot of experience in touring. What do you think that especially Mexico has in your heart, or a special place as a musician with all the experience with another audience in all around the world, that you said Mexico has this special place in my heart than in other kind of audiences? For example, to Europe, because we know that here in Mexico, metal only like 100% of the population hear metal, but they are so loyal to metal. But and it's not like Europe that there are many people that hear him. But how do you think that Mexico that had that place in the metal music as your experience as touring musician?
Well, I think what's special about the Mexicans is they have such passion, and they're so loyal. We've been playing there since 2007, and all the the venues are always filled, and the fans, they don't only sing the lyrics, they sing the music, they sing the riffs, and very few people I've ever seen do that. So it's incredible for us to watch from the stage. And the Mexican fans give us such energy, and it makes us give it right back to them when we play live. So we always get treated well in Mexico, and we're looking forward to it. It's coming up very soon, and the Mexican fans will always have a special place in our heart.
If there is a song that motivates you more or sticks to you more when you are playing on the stage with the Mexican fan, that you said this is the main song that is from Mexico because it's different than in other songs, or when you are making the set list?
I think it's the songs that are not the real heavy ones. It's the magical Symphony X songs, maybe like the progressive rock songs, the ballads. Like, for example, when we play the Odyssey live, it's a long song, and the Mexican fans are with us the whole song. They, no one is getting tired, no one is getting bored. They're singing everything, and at the end, the big ending, they just go crazy. And sometimes I'll make mistakes when I'm playing because I'm watching them and I forget what I'm doing. So they're putting on a show for us. So we appreciate it so much, and we love the interaction with the Mexican fans. So it's going to be a great time, and we're looking forward to feeling that emotion again.
Exactly, and also because you were here before a pandemic, and now the pandemic also changed things for all the bands in the world touring. For you as Symphony X, what does this experience with the pandemic situation change you a little bit the perspective about the concerts, the tours right now? Do you think they are more expensive? It's more difficult? Because I know that you have a long experience touring, and I think that you watch a difference before and after pandemic situation with bands like Symphony X.
Yeah, in 2020 and 2021. We had some great tours that were planned, and they all had to be canceled. And that was a really tough time, not only for us, but for every band. So, it was a really rough time, and a lot of bands had to retire because of no money. But, Symphony X, we managed to stay together. Same guys always. And, but now, after the pandemic, the fans just came back stronger than ever, So now in 2026, I don't even think about the pandemic anymore because everybody is just back to the same way of thinking. They're excited about the metal bands. And so, that's a great compliment to the fans. Yes. The fans, without the fans, there would be no shows. So even though ticket prices are very expensive, unfortunately, I wish they weren't, but the fans come to the shows anyway, and they buy the merchandise, and, we really appreciate it. So nothing could keep metal down. Metal is going to survive no matter what you throw at us, right?
Exactly, yeah. Exactly. Metal music not gonna die. There are new generations that are going to be in your tour. It's really excited to hear new fans from sixth generation that they like because of their parents, their grandparents. So that's really excited.
That's great that you bring that up. Mm-hmm. At our shows, we'll always see the parents, and many times they bring their children, and the children love it too. So, the generations of metalheads, will continue and continue. So it's a great thing to watch because it makes you happy that, metal is, like we said, it's never going to stop.
And talking more about this Symphony X creativity, and I know that you are working with new music. What excites you most to contribute as a bassist way? Because as you know, we hear the lyric, we hear the guitar, and as long as we are hearing, but in a bass perspective, as your experience, what does excite you more when you are contributing in Symphony X new music?
Yeah, I think in the early days, I used to like to contribute, a lot of progressive kind of bass and that sort of stuff. But as I've gotten older, I really enjoy writing lyrics, So, I'll write a lot of lyrics and I'll submit them to the band. And that's always a lot of fun for me. And also, even though I'm older, my way of contributing the bass lines are a little more intelligent now, I think. I think about it a little bit more and say, okay, does this song need a lot of bass? Does it need very little? My attitude now is just give the song only what it needs, not more, not less.
Okay, that's interesting, because talking about going back, and that's why asking you about your perspective as musician bassist, is that now we are hearing a lot that music now for new generations needs to be adapted. Let's adapt the music for new generations. But with all the experience that you have in the bass as a musician, do you think this is really necessary, especially in the metal music, as progressive musician, that sometimes it's harder to enjoy it or hard to try to understand music? But do you think that it's necessary for these new generations to be adapt metal music to have more fans, to be as the same as in the 80s? And your experience, what do you think about this perspective of the new generation for metal new audiences?
I think when you try to write music to adapt to a certain age group, I think it never sounds authentic to do that, because you'll write an album for a specific group. By the time the album comes out, then the new trend is something else, and you're always going to be behind. What Symphony X does is, we try to listen to new bands that come out to see what they're doing. Maybe we'll get influenced, but we don't try to write specifically for the young generation or something like that. We just write what we feel, and that'll include old influences and new ones. I think that helps us reinvent ourselves.
And especially talking about to reinvent it. I don't want you to spoiler me, but what do you think now in this 2005 Symphony X is now in this? What is the main creativity stage of Symphony X now?
I think that we've learned that the most important thing is writing a good song. It doesn't matter how fast you play. It doesn't matter how many notes you can play in 2 seconds. That doesn't really matter. All that matters is is it a good song? Does the song require a lot of technical playing, or does it require just basic rock sound? I think just do whatever it takes to make the song great. Who cares if it's progressive or technical or fast or slow? It just matters that it's a good song. And, when we were younger, we were young guys, we were hungry, and, we wanted to impress everybody. But now I think we've learned what it truly means to be a great band.
Exactly. We want to eat the world when we are young. When we were old, we understand better how to eat the world.
Yes.
Exactly. Michael, thank you so much for your time. Now, my time is running up, but the only thing you want to say for all our headbangers in Latin America to come back, that you are coming back, no, also in Mexico, also Latin America, to our fans, you want to say something for them just to finish this interview?
To my Latin American fans, my first show ever with Symphony X was in Latin America, and Latin America is like my second home. I've made so many friends there, and I love you guys so much. And the band, we promise you this tour is going to be the best one yet. We are, we're sounding our best, and we're going to really give a great show. And we know that you guys are going to give us the passion, more passion than we could even handle. So thank you. We love you. See you soon.